Hi guys, and welcome to another special episode of EOS Rewired, where we have the opportunity to speak to different people from around the development world with Brendon and Torben Anderson from EOSphere Dev. So today we're sitting down with Vlad from MyWish. Vlad, thanks so much for sitting down with us. Appreciate you coming out and taking a few minutes to chat about the project.
Okay, so MyWish, it's all about smart contracts, and we are mostly developers, not like marketing guys or sales, and we understand how it's difficult to become a developer. And our goal is to make EOS much more simple for everyone, not only for individuals, for real users, but even for businesses. And we believe that smart contracts, it's like a key functionality for EOS, as for other blockchain like Ethereum or Tron right now. Because it's a lot of dApps coming to the blockchains, and it's the main competitor advantage of many others on Ethereum, for example. And our goal is to make smart contracts as simple as possible. So, and we did it for at least for several contracts like token contract, crowd sale, airdrop, and we are continuing working on this one. So how it works, you just come to our platform and specify and choose a contract template, then customize it, and that's it. So we do everything by our platform, so automatically compile, test it, and deploy it to EOS. So you can use your contract just in 5 minutes.
It's incredible. It's a service that's definitely needed because, of course, that's kind of it's the glue of the whole EOSIO system are these smart contracts. And if you can find a way to be able to make them accessible to kind of your everyday person, then a lot of the development kind of seeps through.
So we have like 10 developers right now in our team.
Yep. And
I think it's about 400 people tried our service already to create smart contracts. The most difficult thing for us it's the trust to smart contracts, because you know that a lot of money was lost or stolen because of errors in bugs in smart contracts. So, and people don't want to use it like for managing their funds, for example. So not want to create like wheels, like wedding contracts, or probably just like lost key contract, because they don't want to store it on the code, because it's like very bad examples in the past. But we believe in the future it will be like everywhere, and every day we'll use it. I can give you some like examples how we did some pilots with a pizzeria, for example, and how it works. You want a pizza, probably like Torben or Brendon wants a pizza because it's night, and you send the money to smart contract. And if your delivery comes in time, in this case, money goes to the pizzeria, otherwise it's back to you. So it's extremely easy, and it's trusty, and you do not need to sign any documents, and pizzeria immediately sees that you have money, so no risk from their side, and you understand the rules. And it can be done like all around the world, 24 hours per day, no need to wait until payment is received and so on. So a lot of functionality can be automated by smart contracts, and we believe that like in 2 years we will try to deliver pizza, and I hope that you will use our service also. Something like that.
Yeah, Vlad, you guys are definitely on the right track. I actually found you guys originally when I was preparing for the EOS Sydney hackathon, part of their global hackathon series. I was researching. I had an idea to build a succession planning contract, and I was obviously looking around, and I found you guys, like, oh, okay, someone's actually done this already. And then not only that, so that was my first sort of link and synergy with you guys, but then the winner of the EOS hackathon series was actually a team that their project, or their hackathon project, was actually an automated smart contract building thing. So they were trying to basically build like the access database for smart contracts. So you guys really are sort of over the target in terms of building something that is of value and useful. And you've done a lot in all of the contracts that I see there. So that's really good. I had a question for you guys though, in terms of because I see that you cover Ethereum, Neo, Tron, EOS. as a team or a sort of dev team, how do you guys stay across all of those different technologies, or are you leaning towards certain ones?
So it was started from Ethereum, of course, because it's you know that EOS was not ready and NEO was not ready, and nobody knows Tron. So it's so it's just one opportunity to start working on smart contract was Ethereum, and it's still, I think, our main platform. So the most people create like smart contracts on Ethereum. On second place is EOS. The third one is NEO, and the last one is Tron right now on our platform. But I think that EOS right now is main priority and Tron, because it's like if you even try to create a smart contract in EOS and deploy it and to start using it, I think you will not use Ethereum in the future because of the speed or because of the cost. And I think that probably for one task it will be good EOS, for another one it's Tron because of the languages mostly. So if you would like to develop most complicated dApp, use EOS. If you just need to create a, like EOS bet or something called Tron bet, you can use Tron because of solidity. So it's we don't want to be like participate in competition between blockchains. We would like to be one platform for all blockchains who would like where is smart contracts implemented. So that's our goal.
Very cool. I think that what people don't realize is that the use of smart contracts has the potential to not just change blockchain, but to change the way that we do kind of permissionless interactions in the everyday world. I think that finance is a really large part of where smart contracts have the ability to really affect the landscape of the world around us. What are some other areas that you notice kind of a resurgence in requests of people for using some of these smart contracts?
Yeah, so we have several pilots. One was pizza with pizzeria. The second one is insurance case. It's very good for flight delay. For example, if Matt decided to come to Russia and he afraid that his flight will be delayed, and I can work as an insurance company. So he sends like 1 EOS for me, and if flight is delayed, smart contract will send like 10 EOS to Matt. If not, I will take this 1 EOS. So it's completely how insurance company works. So you just send the money and get much more money if events is coming, something like this. But in this case, we do not need to sign any documents because we see code. So it's trust. So everyone in all around the world can open insurance company just like in 5 minutes. Choose a template, deploy it, and to ask friends to send money and to get if flights was delayed or not, for example. You know, the most problem with smart contracts is how to get real life events, and it will be trusted. So we need to be sure that flight is delayed, but nobody hacked it and so on. But for flight delays, it's a lot of services which you can report the flight was really delayed. So like we can take 5, for example, sources about flights and be sure that it was delayed for sure, something like this. It's in insurance. It's a lot of like it's the same for IoT, for example. If you buy a sensor, fluid sensor at home, and if something happens, it reports to smart contract. You immediately got insurance fee. So you don't need to submit the documents. You don't need to contact the insurance company and so on. So it immediately get the money if events is coming. So it's huge areas.
It is. Didn't Brock Pierce get married via smart contract? I'm actually pretty sure that he did. For me, it's interesting because I think that it seems like something that might be a little bit small scale right now, but I'm just noticing a resurgence of the use of smart contracts in a lot of like real world things. I think eventually our planet is going to be run largely on a lot of infrastructure built on blockchain. Everything from the way that people move to the way that we transfer money to the way that we actually interact, perhaps even to the way that global elections are done. I think that we're going to start moving a lot of these things onto the blockchain. And I think, of course, smart contracts are one of the beautiful things that allows us to be able to do this. When did you first get into smart contracts? When were you first exposed to all this? And what kind of drove the passion for you to make this more accessible for other people?
Our first smart contract was crypto wheel. So it was like we have created a landing page with a question, what will happen with your cryptocurrency if you die, something like this. It was very a fear with the eyes which say something like this. Okay, it was called Last Will, and that's how we started. So we understood that this problem is not solved, and develop the smart contract and develop a new one, create a platform. We try to be also as marketplace. So if you're a developer, you can submit your smart contract to us. And since we have automation, full automation, so other people can easily start using your smart contract. So everyone from, no need to compile and need to study the code. So just use, for example, the code from Torben or from Brendon. By the way, regarding the wheel, it's still one of the most popular contracts on our platform. But we faced some problems with this one because people who think about crypto, and probably old people who think about the death also, they are not can go to just online service and put money there. So it's not standard way for them. That's why we have some negotiations with lawyers companies in the United States right now, and discuss that it will be like another possibility if you create a standard will. So a lawyer asking if you have a house, okay, by the way, do you have a crypto? And if you have a crypto, you can create like a document and we can help you create an online contract or something like this. So it looks like that we need to be more integrated with the standard practices, with the lawyers, with the companies who interact with real people who don't work in crypto as we, something like this.
Yeah, I think that's great, Vlad. I think that's the trick about all of this is recognizing, you know, how this participates in the real world. So often we've seen people creating applications thinking that they're exclusive to some kind of domain. Let's say people who just own crypto, or people who own this, or that it's just people who know blockchain. But I think what you're saying here is, you know, let's align with the way the real world works. That's critical because not only do we provide that service into the real world, but we start getting a feedback loop as to how does this contract really operate in a real life situation. Does that sound kind of like how you were thinking about that with bringing lawyers on board?
No, it's all inside the crypto. So for example, for EOS, it's the same as lost key contract, works the same. So you have a contract where you have, for example, EOS tokens, not a token, it's just account, it's no any code there. And we create a contract which have rights to get your tokens, for example, in 3 years. Just so simple. In 3 years, if nobody cancel it, it will take your crypto and send to reserve wallet. And you are the owner of everything. So you can cancel this contract, who taken from your account and sent to reserve one. You can prolong it for any period of time. And also we have a functionality that you have to confirm that you are still alive by calling this contract by your account, something like this. So it's extremely easy, and we don't understand why, for example, exchanges don't use it. So this functionality is already inside the blockchain. So you just create a contract which have rights to take your crypto and send to reserve wallet. There's only this functionality side of this one. And probably you'll not get your, if you lost a key, you will not get your crypto immediately, but at least you will take it like in half of a year. So it's, when it's time with smart contracts comes.
It's kind of like a morbid use case, but man, is that ever like a needed use case? Because how many Bitcoins, how many EOS, how much Ether, how much everything is lost to somebody on a yearly basis. Yeah, it just passes away. Like, that's brilliant, man. I absolutely love that. Just to kind of tighten up on the MyWish concept again, essentially, you don't have to be a developer to come in and speak to you guys and have one of your contracts built. It could be somebody who, as you said, maybe they want to put a time limit on access to their cryptocurrency should something happen to them. What are kind of the bulk of the people coming in to speak to you about? Are they generally developers, or are they kind of like your everyday person who might have a lot of crypto, is looking to protect it in a certain way? What are most of the requests that you're dealing with at this point?
I think it's something in the middle between probably it's people who is like 6 months as a crypto, something like this. So they are not newcomers. They understand how it works. So what is EOS? What is Ethereum? But they can't develop something because developers want to create it by themselves. So somebody created a contract. I'm not sure I would do better, something like this. So but we are okay with this one. We have some good reviews from developer with recommendation was to change. We are completely open source project, so everyone can submit enhancement of obsolete bugs and so on. So we are completely transparent from this perspective.
And Vlad, tell us, what are your future plans now with this, and what's on your horizon in terms of projects coming up?
I think our dream is to be like a marketplace. So it's a lot of ideas to deliver and a lot of smart contract ideas, but we do not have enough resources to do every smart contract. So because it's like a lot of work. So our dream is that much more developers will decide to go to blockchains and start working on a smart contracts. And then they can come to us and we'll be like help them to distribute the contracts to real users. So I'm afraid that MyWish team is not enough for smart contract expansion. So we need more developers inside of this things. So
great, I love it. So smart contract marketplace.
Yes. So there's the one place for if you want to use smart contracts, use MyWish.
Great stuff. Yeah, I love it. That way people can contribute the different smart contracts, people can share those, people can leverage different pre-made contracts, that kind of thing.
Yep. So you submit, you create a template of smart contracts, specifies the data for every field. We audit it and test it and put on our platform. And since it's fully automated, people will get your contract like 5 minutes without any program. Sounds like this. And great of course, we pay for the service, and we share the revenue with the author of the contract.
That's great. Well, I'd love to get an update from you at some point when that comes out, and maybe even have you on the show again. That would be great.
Okay, thank you. We'll try to participate. Yeah.
So Vlad, we want to thank you for coming out and spending some time today. I think MyWish is it's another great tool to help bridge the gap, not only in between developers and EOS, but also people who are looking for specific smart contracts for some of the use cases that we talked about today. And I have a feeling that as the industry grows and as people realize the power of EOS and the power of these smart contracts, that you are going to be a very, very busy man.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. Okay, Brendon, Torben, nice to meet you. And let's rock with EOS.
Sounds good, my friend. We'll see you soon.